To imitate God's good and upright ways means learning God's character from Scripture, and then shaping thoughts, words, and actions to match God's character, especially as revealed in Jesus Christ. Biblical call to imitate God's Scripture states this directly: be imitators of God as beloved children, and then explains that this means walking in love as Christ loved us and gave himself for us. Just as children naturally copy a loving father, believers are called to copy their Father's character, his goodness, mercy, holiness, and faithfulness. Other passages say not to imitate evil, but what is good, teaching that the one who does good shows that they truly belong to God. The New Testament often ties this to following Christ's example. Imitate me as I imitate Christ, and Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. What God's good and upright ways look like God's ways are described in Scripture as righteous, just, merciful, and faithful. He loves truth, defends the weak, hates oppression, and keeps his promises. Jesus perfectly displays these divine qualities: compassion for the broken, purity of heart, humble service, washing the disciples' feet, sacrificial love, and obedience to the Father, even unto death. To imitate his ways, then, is to practice love that acts for others' good, even when it costs something; holiness that turns from sin and impurity, because you shall be holy, for I am holy; mercy, forgiveness, and patience, as Christ forgave and bore with those who wronged him. How believers imitate God in daily life. Practically, imitating God's upright ways means intentionally patterning life after Christ's example and after the godly models he provides, setting the mind on things above and choosing what pleases God over what pleases the flesh, learning from mature believers whose faith and conduct reflect God's character and following their pattern as they follow Christ, walking in love, truth, and integrity in relationships, work, and speech, so that others can see a small reflection of God's goodness. Ultimately, Scripture teaches that believers are being conformed to the image of his Son, so that over time, their lives more and more resemble the good and upright ways of God himself.